Hey guys, this is Bruce and welcome to ConvoCourses. Today I'm doing something a little bit different right after work, and I am promoting a free book, free for only the next 5 days and only on Kindle. The book is it's basically this book, and then there's three other books. It's actually a bundle. What I'm looking for is reviewers. Just please, if you don't mind, just people who are serious about reviewing. And this right here is the book that most of the stuff that I talk about on this on these podcasts is all in this, and it's basically detailing everything I've done to get six figures, work from home, and constantly have jobs in cybersecurity. To be honest with you, the techniques that I put in this book will work for anybody, and it's once you figure out how to do it, it's pretty straightforward, and you'll be able to do this in any career field. But I specialize in my field, which is cybersecurity. So this goes out to all you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know before the 5 days is up to get that free book on Kindle. The link is in description below, or if you happen to be watching me on some other platform, it should be in the profile. It's ConvoCourses.net, and it'll be right there in the link. For now, I'm going to stay open. So you guys have any questions whatsoever about cybersecurity, about getting into this field, about what's currently going on, we could talk about that. It's the stuff in this book right here is everything that I've learned over these the past 14 years that I've been doing this and mastering this, getting into this field and killing the interview, getting work from home jobs or any kind of position you want in IT and cybersecurity. That's what I specialize in. So any questions you have whatsoever, I'm open to it. Let me see if there's any questions right now that I have on YouTube. And just so you guys know, here's the book right here. Here's where the link is going to take you. Here's that free book. This is something I've already sent out to everybody on my mailing list. I'm always giving them free stuff, awesome deals. I mean, this is like a 3-book bundle, but I've got another one coming out soon, and I've got a breakdown of ChatGPT, how to use it, and it's gonna get you into using it for cybersecurity. That's kind of the goal of it. The first book is gonna be like in general, how can you use it to do things back, like be more efficient and make more money. That book's coming out soon. I'm still working on like the formatting of the book and the cover and all that kind of stuff, but it's actually already first draft's already done. So that book's coming out really soon. Let me see. I think I had some questions on YouTube that I could hit up, but this is really about you guys. So any questions you guys have in regarding cybersecurity, I know some people are actually still at work. But if you have any questions right now, I can answer them. Let me see. Somebody said on YouTube, they said, I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but they said, thank you for your wealth of knowledge. I do have a question. Currently working as an ISO, and a project has come across where I've been able to do some system security plan for a data center. Is this typical how the RM or is this typically how the RMF process goes? I thought RMF was for a system within the data center. How would you approach doing an SSP for that? Yeah, so that there's different kinds of systems. So if you're doing it for an entire floor or an entire network or something like a data center, it's considered what's called a general support system. A general support system is a combination of many different systems. So that's probably what they're expecting you to do. And in that, you would just detail all the systems that are within the boundary of the data center. So that's going to be a lot of systems. If it's a large data center, you would itemize every single system on that in the data center, all the racks, every single server in the rack. Even if you had like cloud devices in that are on-prem, you'd put those on there. All the network devices, all the endpoint devices, everything in the data center, you would itemize it. And then all of the software would also be on a list. So you want to do a complete baseline. And then that is going to be your boundary. And then whoever is the director of that of that data center is going to probably be your what's called an authorizing official, and that's the person who's going to sign off on it. But to answer your question, the answer is yes. You can do. It depends on the boundary. Like you can do a risk management framework process on any boundary. It's not doesn't have to be one system. I've done systems that were a combination of several systems that were all like put together put together, and they're across like the world. Like there's one system over here and there's one system over here, but they all make up one system. And that we would identify the boundary, and then and that we would go through the entire process. It's difficult when you have a lot of systems that are spread apart, because then you got to get with like the site manager and you got to do assessments at each site and all that kind of stuff. But yes, the answer is yes. Okay, so I got a couple questions here, and somebody said, what book is free? So this book right here is a part of a series of 3 books. So actually, if you go right now on the link in description, ConvoCourses.net, you'll see like a little button takes you straight there. And then if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see a link in description where it's a bundle of books. So it's this book with 2 other books. It's talking about how to create a resume for cybersecurity, but you can really use this for anything. The techniques are sound. I've been using it for years. This is not theory. This is something I've been doing for years. And this is my best stuff that really, for whatever reason, people are not feeling me on this one. Because I've been doing this for years, but it's this book with 2 other books. The first book is how to do a resume and walks you through how to market that resume, meaning how to put it everywhere, how to advertise it and put it everywhere. Once you have the correct resume, very, very important. So I tell you how to find the keywords, how to put them all together, and then how to blast it everywhere. And then the second book is talking about how cybersecurity is not just hacking, right? It's actually, it's a huge field. It's got stuff that's focused on management. It's got stuff that's focused on documentation. It's got stuff that even scientists, it's got all kinds of stuff. It's super broad. So that second book is all about how broad it is. And if you want to go be a CSI type forensics person, because that's cybersecurity. If you want to be in Intel, it talks about that. If you wanted to do red teaming, which is the popular thing that everybody talks about, the actual hacking, ethical hacking. Each one of those has their own things their own certifications, own skill set, their own experience, background they need. So the second book talks about that. The third book is very short, and it's getting straight to the point of how you can start working from home. So it's a 3-book bundle. Right now, you can get it for free on Amazon. And I'm really looking for reviewers. Like the reviews really help me on Amazon. Amazon is how I make most of my income. So, as far as this business is concerned. So I would really appreciate if you guys check out the book. If you have good stuff to say about it, if it helps you out, like if you think it's insightful, leave me a review on Amazon. I really, really appreciate it. Even if it's just a 5-star or whatever, then that's cool. 4-star, whatever, I really appreciate everybody who watches me and follows me. But if you want to help me out, then what's the name of the book? Go to the link. The name of the book is a cybersecurity jobs 3-in-1 bundle. There's 3 books in one. So just go, the link will take you straight there. So where's the link? It's go to ConvoCourses.net. If you're on TikTok, go up here, click on my profile, and you'll see my link, ConvoCourses.net. You'll see a little button. That button will take you directly to this free book right here. And I do this about anytime I have a free book or free course or whatever that I'm releasing, that I'm launching. I want to get people's feedback. I want to get it out there first. And then after a few days, then that's it. I'll move on to the next thing. And now people got to pay for it. This is not going to be a cheap book, by the way. And then I've got other bundles coming out. I've got one that's prompt engineering, how to use it to make money, how I've been using it. I've been using AI to make money. And I'm telling you in this other book that book's coming out soon. So just, it'll come out soon and I'll let you guys know, and I'll do the same thing. All right. I got some questions here. Let me see. Vaughn is saying, I had an interview with Northrop and got bamboozled when the panel started asking about STIGs. Is becoming familiar with STIGs in a home lab setup sufficient? Are you asking, okay, is becoming familiar with STIGs in a homeland setup sufficient? I think really they want to know if you know how to use it. So in I would say with a STIG, I know if I was in the hiring position, it would be best if you had done it in a operational environment, like if you were working for the Department of Defense or whatever, and you ran STIGs against this or that system, as a weapon system or whatever it is, right? That would probably be best. But if you just knew how to use them very, very effectively, and that's something you can learn you can literally download those right now. You can literally download STIGs right now, run it on your computer, your system at home, your laptop, your desktop, your whatever, and then learn to use STIGs completely on your own. So I would say there's three tiers. Like there's um the top tier being you've used it for you're proficient at it and you've used it in a professional level environment. That'd be the number one case, of course, right? That you have 3 years of experience or more, and you've been doing it in like a large environment where the stakes are high, whatever. But the second one would be that you just know how to use it efficiently. You don't have a lot of experience. You've maybe never even worked in and used it in an operational environment, but you've used it on your own and you know how to use it, right? But other than that, you also have a background in IT and have implemented security features on a system, because that's all STIGs are. All STIGs are is that you're implementing security features on a system. So if you've done that before, you've done some parts of the STIG. That being said, you should have the second tier there is knowing how to use it and how it works. The third tier is just at least knowing what STIGs are, right? That's probably not going to get you that far, but at least it's something. So so those for me, I would go in that order if I was hiring people. So, but to answer your question, it depends on the organization, but actually having hands on something is better than not even knowing what it is. I would say, Vaughn. I plan on doing something on STIGs that's a little bit more robust. I've done it a couple times on these feeds, but I think that I need to do something a little bit more involved where I'm actually doing like a course where it's just me and you in the course doing that kind of stuff. Because the STIGs is something that I've done a few times. Mm-hmm. Where is the link for the book? So the link for the book, thank you guys for asking. I really appreciate that. I need your help. If you're an avid reader, if you looking for a technical book, more importantly, if you're looking for a job in cybersecurity and you happen to be an IT person, this book is for you, because I'm telling you exactly how to do it, how to find keywords, how to market it. This is not theory. This is something I have been using for years that's worked for me. I constantly get opportunities. I constantly get in any time I can actually have an interview. It's just up to me. It's in my hands. This is the second major recession I've been in as an adult. And I'm telling you, with using this stuff that I put in this book, and this is, by the way, this free book that I'm giving you guys, that's in the link is in the description and link is in my bio. Go to ConvoCourses.net, click on that link in there, and then the button there takes you directly to this free book. It's not just one book, it's 3 books in one. First book is telling you how to create and market your resume, how to put it everywhere and start getting opportunities just like me. The second one is how broad this cybersecurity career field is. It's not all technical. It's not all hacking. And then the third book is how to work from home, because those are the 3 things that I noticed people really wanted to know about. So I just put them all. I wrote those 3 books consecutively over the last year. And then secondly, now just recently put them in a bundle that you guys can go ahead and check out. It's called Cybersecurity Jobs 3-in-1. And just go ahead and check that out. I'm really looking for reviews. Your reviews are as good as money. So that review is like paying for the book itself. So I'm really looking for you guys to give me a review. But even downloading it actually helps me on Amazon. So I appreciate that too. I got another couple free books that are waiting for me to launch them. They're coming soon. So that's why it's really good for you to get on my newsletter, follow me here, subscribe. follow me because I'm giving away free stuff all the time. So this is just, let me see. Somebody said, hello, are the books written with ChatGPT? So the book that I write is straight. This is my personal experience. This book right here was before ChatGPT that I even knew about ChatGPT. This book is not written with ChatGPT. This represents my personal experience. This is my personal experience. This is my real. I break down my real resume. It has a link to my real resume. My real resume is, this is not ChatGPT, guys. This is I've been living this life for years. So now the book that I wrote on ChatGPT is I use ChatGPT because the prompts are necessary. Basically, I write prompts to where and break them all down so that I can help people to use them more effectively. So part of it is used with ChatGPT, if that makes any sense. So, but this is not that book. This is a completely different book. Let me see. Let me see here. Vaughn says, thanks. I only have worked in the private sector, but I'll still take your suggestions. I'm still processing, in the process of a WinSys position 2. I will make sure I'm ready for it next time. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's what you do. That's how you do it. Because you can download the Stig viewer for free. Like you can download that straight off of DISA's website, the DISA.mil website. You go there, download, and actually there's 2 things you need to know. All right, put you on some serious game. There's 2 tools you need to have. One is the Stig viewer, and another one is called security. It's called SSC. Actually, let me make sure I'm getting this right. It's a tool that's like, it has a script that will run. It can run the scans for you. It can run it will do a scan on your system, and then it can actually apply some of the controls. And that tool is called SCC. Let me get the right name for it. I don't want to lie to you, man. There's a few things you need to know. One is called SCAP. One is called SSC, and one is called Stig Viewer. So let me show you where those are. You can download all of these tools. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you my screen real quick. Okay, so this is the stuff you need to know right here. And this is on, just type, if you type this in, you will find it. SRG Stig Tools. And the site is on cyber.mil. This is all publicly available information. Anybody can get this. And it's a great way if you're trying to get a government job. If you know about Stigs, it's a government cybersecurity job specifically for the federal government and the Department of Defense. It's super helpful. Somebody said Stig Viewer app. So here you go right here. So here's some of them. One is Stig Viewer. This is one of the ones you want. You want it for, if you have a Windows system, you want this one right here. Win64 version, but they have one for Linux. I think they even have one for, I'm not sure if that one will work on Mac, but there's that one. There's another tool that I'm trying to get you to do, though. Couple things you need to know. You need to know about SCAP. Read up on it. Read up on SCAP. Where is that damn tool? They recently made it public. It used to be you had to have a government PIV card to get it, but they recently opened it up to everybody. And I am at somebody on this damn live knows exactly what I'm talking about. I haven't used this thing in years. It is called, oh man, it's called Stig. SCC checker tool, something like that. Security content automation protocol. That is SCAP. It's kind of the protocol that's used to map all of the controls on a system. But I'm talking about a compliance, SCAP compliance checker. That's what it's called. SCAP compliance checker. That's what it's called. I have not used that tool in a while, but I think they made it publicly available. Let me see. This is the one. This is the one you want to also mess around with. Here it is right here. SCAP. Is this it? So see, SCAP is the actual content that they use to map all vulnerabilities on a given system. But I'm looking for the actual tool that can help to remediate those. I'm not finding it. Maybe they didn't release it. I guess not. I'm not finding it. I thought they released it. I apologize for that. All right, moving on. I got some other people here. Let me see. Once I get all my certs, how easy is it to find a remote entry-level job? I'm currently in Project Plus. So if you're entry level, it's difficult. It's very difficult to find an entry level job. And the reason why I say that, you can find them. Okay, it's not necessarily easy to find them. You'll find them, but they'll be very, very competitive. I hope that makes sense. You can find jobs that are entry level, that are remote, but they're going to be pretty competitive. And if you're looking for you said Project Plus, a project manager job that's remote, they have them. The one you want is PMP. So after you get the Project Plus, you want to go for the PMP, and it would be much better if you had experience as a project manager to get a remote job. That said, what I would do is use like a 6-month strategy if I were you. So if you're serious, what you want to do is get yourself any entry level position that's not work from home, like working in an office, and then do that for like 6 months to a year. You might even like it. They might even offer flex jobs eventually. There's jobs that do that, like let you come in the office like 3 times a week or whatever. Do that for a while to get the reason why this is important is because after you get that 6 months to a year of experience as a project manager, you're probably looking at 6 figures after that, especially if you get the PMP. And I'm not even messing with you. So project managers is something that people do not talk about. IT people don't talk about, but it makes bank. So that's what I would do. I mean, if you're serious, number one, project manager, that's awesome. I'm currently in Project Management Plus. That's good. Good start. Now what you want to do is get some you want to get some experience. Right? The certifications are really, really good for boiling down your common body of knowledge. That's really good because now it's focusing you on one group of knowledge that you need to be successful, right? And then you get the cert, and it's like validating that you have that knowledge. Now what you want to do is get the experience, because that's what organizations really want. Use the Project Plus and the certs to get your foot in the door. Don't worry right now. Don't worry about entry level as much, because those are going to be super competitive right now. They're competitive for me. I've been doing this for 20 years, bro. So it's competitive for me. And I mean, damn. So entry level is competitive. Like everybody wants those jobs. So, I mean, it's entry level remote. They do exist. I'm just saying they're more competitive. So number one, Project Plus, good. You're on the right track. Get that now. Get your foot in the door at any job, any entry-level job. Now that you're in and you got that experience, put that on your resume. Promote the hell out of your resume. Just like I talk about in this book. If you guys didn't My book's free right now. It's a 3-book. I got 3-in-1 book. It's actually free right now. Limited time offer. You guys' downloads and reviews are as good as money for me. That's why I'm giving it away for free for a limited time for the next 5 days. All right. You can literally get this book. This will walk you through everything I'm telling you to do. It will work for project management because I tell you how to get the keywords. They don't necessarily have to be cybersecurity. You feel me? You don't have to be cyber. It could be whatever. It could be project management. You can use the same keywords on your resume. You want to promote the hell out your resume. Then what you do is once you put it on your resume and you promote it, you market it, put it everywhere, you're going to get offers, right? You're going to go to some interviews. You're not going to get all the, you're going to fail some, not fail interviews, but not everybody's going to want you, but you're not going to want everybody who you have to do an interview with. So then you get it, you get your foot in the door, you go work in an office. I give you about 6 months to a year. You might even like it. You might want to stay or whatever. 6 months, I would say. Once you do that, put that on your resume, update your resume, put that stuff on your resume. Now you want to work on your PMP. Be working on your PMP because PMP is the top of the food chain for project management. Once you get that, you're talking about 6 figures. Are very close to 6 figures because project management is hot, there's not many people that are doing it. So that's the route I would go if I were you. So go for it. Go for it. Oh, somebody put the link. Thank you, Cyber Bum. Appreciate you, man. Let me see. Somebody said project management experience. Without project management experience, let me see. Let me see. Working as an IT support tech with ITIL Foundations A+, Network Plus. What job should I look for next? I'm working as an IT support technician. You got an ITIL, an A+, and a Network Plus. What job should you look for next? So I could tell you what I would do. What I would do from there is you've got a good general knowledge. Now what you want to do is specialize. That's what I would do next. Where you specialize is really up to you. I can tell you a couple markets that are going to pay pretty good. One is cloud. For cloud, you wouldn't want to do the AWS entry-level certification. That's one way if you were wanting to go that route. Then you want to go straight from there. You want to go to an associate or a professional level cert in cloud. If you're trying to go the cloud route, your next step is you're trying to specialize. If you're going to do cybersecurity, Security Plus, you're on the natural path to Security Plus. The first one you want to do is Security Plus. It's an entry-level security certification, but it's highly marketable. As soon as you put it on your resume, you will get more opportunities for cybersecurity. From there, you want to go for the next level of specialization, which cybersecurity has deeper specializations. You got ethical hackers. You got people who are like myself doing compliance type stuff. You got different certifications. If you're trying to be an ethical hacker, CEH, highly marketable, not the best hacker certification, but it's going to pay you. He's going to get it's 6 figures. And then another one which is what I do would be the CGRC certification, if that's what routes you want to go in. And then another one besides cloud and cybersecurity, I would say would be network engineer. It's more difficult, but if you're a very technical person, and you have fun with technology, I would recommend the network engineering portion. And then the first one you want to do is probably, it used to be called a CCENT. I don't know what they call it these days. Cisco has renamed it, so I don't really know. You can do any one of those paths because you have an A+ and a Network Plus and ITIL Foundations, and you have experience. You are prepped. You are primed for this. And if you didn't know, I got a free book. You're the perfect candidate for this book right here if you're trying to go into cybersecurity. This is a free. This hard cover is not free. Okay, the soft cover is not free. But if you go on my link in description, my link ConvoCourses.net, it'll have a button. It'll take you straight to a free book that's a 3-book bundle. One tells you how to market your resume, how to create and market your resume. This is stuff I've used for years, and then it's going to tell you like what's the spectrum of cybersecurity, because it's a huge it's not just one thing. It's not just hacking. It's a whole spectrum. You might not want to be a hacker. You might not want to do what I do, which is compliance. But there's a whole spectrum of stuff that you can do. And now it's going to educate you on where to go and what certifications to get. And then the third book that's in this bundle, a 3-book bundle for free right now, while limited time supplies last. That's what they say. Anyway, so the third book is about working from home. So there you go. Let me see. I got some other people here. Are PMP jobs stressful? It depends on the job. I would say they can be. I would say they can be. It can be very, because you're working with people. Anytime you're doing a lot of meetings and you're working with people, I can tell you, I'm not a PMP, okay, but I work with PMPs a lot. I work with project managers a lot, and they're in the trenches with me a lot of times, because I doing cybersecurity compliance. I have to deal with people's attitudes and deal with certain issues. So that can be stressful from time to time. And sometimes you're juggling all these different things and tasks you have to do. And project managers kind of have the same workflow, except they probably have way more meetings. If you don't like meetings, if you don't like talking to people, if you like really detest it, then it's going to be stressful from time to time. So I would say overall, yes, but it pays. That's why they pay them pretty good. So I hope that answers your question. Let me see. Depends. Somebody else at Progress says depends on the organization and the project. Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, Progress. I appreciate that. Vaughn says, if going networking side, take a look at, if you're going to the network piece, he says, take a look at Fortinet NSE4. You get unlimited practice using GNS3 simulator. Man, this man knows what he's talking about. So this is what I did when I was going into networking, when I was trying to get really deep in networking. There's a program called GNS3, and it basically, you can have a simulated network on your computer. So I think they have it on Mac, Linux, and Windows, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be free. I don't know if it's still free, but you download this little package on your computer, and then it'll simulate a net. It's really cool. It simulate a network, and you can simulate routers, switches, and how they interact with one another. And it'll let you log into the router, the little simulated router, and then set up routing protocols and see how they all work together. Maybe put a firewall between this or that, set up port security. I think it even goes that far. So that is how you can do it. Another thing you can use, there's some other tools you can use that are virtual, like a little virtual lab. Another one would be VMware, one of my favorites, but there's some free. VMware is not free. There's some free ones called VirtualBox. I don't know that they do routers. Those are more like if you just had a small LAN, local area network. But if you're serious about networking, at some point you got to use routers. And routers are way more sophisticated with networking. It's like if you wanted to make a system in Australia, Brisbane in Australia, talk to a system in LA, you need a router, and then you got to start doing routing protocols and stuff. Or if you wanted to make these two local area networks talk but have security in between them, you would have to do some sophisticated routing type stuff. And so that's when you would want to use GNS3. But if you're doing basic A+ certification, network plus type stuff, you could probably just get away with just using VMware. And VMware actually can get pretty sophisticated too. And I think you can even do some pretty cool stuff with VMware with networking, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I got some people jumping on here. Richie says, I'm studying business admin in cybersecurity. business administrator in cybersecurity. That's awesome. That's an awesome route. So there's a lot of there's a need for managers in cybersecurity. That's a whole nother avenue that you can go into in cybersecurity. As a matter of fact, there's some certifications you might want to check out. There's one called the CISM, which is a management type certification. There's another one. The CISSP is a little bit. It's a lot more difficult. So that one you want to do down the road. But CISM is like a mid tier. It's not a low level certification. Once you get further along in cybersecurity, at some point, if you're trying to be a manager, because you're doing business administrator, it lends itself to management because business administrator type folks are focusing on the needs of the organization and how cybersecurity fulfills those needs and those requirements. So it lends itself to being a manager type person. So that's a whole nother route you could take. Just kind of putting that out there for you. Let me see. About to graduate in BS cybersecurity and already have a a cert plus. Where do I start? So I would start. This is what I tell all my students, all my people in college. This is what I tell everyone. You'll hear me say it over and over again. While you're in college, while you're in university, start now. Do your resume right now. Right now, you might be, Bruce, I don't have experience. I don't really. I just started. Doesn't matter. You got skills, right? Have you ever set up a firewall? Have you ever messed around with Linux? Have you ever messed around with Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows? Have you started putting? Have you ever installed patches? Put that as skills on your resume. Have you done projects? You could put that in your experience portion of your resume. Put your resume out now. If you're not done with your degree yet, you could put degree in progress, BS in cybersecurity in progress, cert, security plus done, A plus done, whatever. Put that on your resume, and then take that resume and then put that on LinkedIn, on Dice, on Monster, on all the platforms, all of them, all the job site platforms. Put them everywhere, and then before you start, and then really, really important, if you are a student, what you want to do is start trying to get experience right now. And you might be, well, where do I even be creative? Like you like, listen, get experience before you get out. In school, they'll have programs that you can start right now to help the school out. That you can put that on your resume. Worked for University of Phoenix, setting up routers, setting imaging devices. You can, like, anything you can do right now is money. Anything you can do, any experience you have, every hour of experience is money. That's how you got to think of it. So even if they don't pay you, you're going to put that on your resume. And then you can also get a reference. If you do a great job, you can ask the school administrator to be like, listen, can I use you as a reference when I get this job? And then keep their name and number. And then when you get that job and it's like, hey, do you have a reference? You could reference that part. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. That's what I recommend every student do. Don't wait until you get a degree. Do it now. Okay, let me see. Contract with senior business system administrator, senior business system analyst. Will you get project management experience you need? Contract with a senior business system analyst. Will you get the project management? I suppose you could. I don't really know what business system analysts do. But it sounds like it might line up with some of the stuff you do in project management. Project management. Go to healthcare, or are you giving out advice, or is that a question? Go to healthcare insurance agency for project management. Work from home. Okay, you're giving out advice. Let me see. DIA is hiring like 200 people. Seriously? Can you put that link out? Where's that at? Yeah, there's a lot of government jobs right now. Government's like hunting for people big time, man. They cannot find people. People are like, oh, there's no jobs. Dude, there are jobs, man. The last 4 jobs I've worked in cybersecurity, we cannot find enough people to do this work. Not Americans. Now there's a lot of people overseas want these jobs. Y'all don't want them. And then you want to get mad at people for taking your jobs. Anyway, off my soapbox. Nobody wants to do these jobs, man. Okay. Progress says can help you narrow your focus in regarding. Okay. Says depends on your phone. I think it's just following up with can help you narrow your focus regarding a particular area in cybersecurity. Okay. Okay, let me see. Other questions. How much do IT level jobs usually make? They don't normally make a lot. Like when you hear there's a big push for making six figures, right? Like it's a huge number that is like a milestone people want to get to. Six um, entry level jobs are not usually going to make six figures. I'm just listen. I'm not doing this for views. I'm trying to tell you guys the truth. They don't normally. I know I've seen a couple TikTokers and a couple YouTubers saying, "Oh, you can make the bullshit. You can make six figures like as an entry level person." I suppose if you go overseas, if you go, there's some overseas jobs that pay you six figures. But the thing is, I worked over there before, and yes, it's six figures, but it's shift work. They do put you up in a place. Sometimes it's really nice. They do expect you to have knowledge, right? So entry level doesn't mean no experience. That's another thing. So let's put some caveats on it. Okay. Entry level doesn't mean no experience and no knowledge. That's two different things. So a lot of times when people say IT entry level, when they're asking me a question, they're saying, no, I don't have no experience. And I say, well, have you ever worked in IT? They were like, I have no experience. I'm like, okay. So if you have no experience and very little knowledge, it's highly unlikely you're going to make six figures. Now there's entry level jobs where you have done a year or 2 years or something, and it's possible to get six figures if you have a year or two experience. It's possible if you have a security clearance, if you have certain special skills lend themselves to six figures. Certain certifications lend themselves to six figures. If you have a security plus and you're on the East Coast and you've had 2 years of experience, you could probably pull a job making six figures. There's a way. I could think of a couple ways you could do it from there. It's not going to be the place you probably want. It's not more likely not going to be a work from home type job. So how much? The question was how much do IT entry level jobs usually make? An entry level job, no experience and knowledge. Like you have to have knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, zero. That's the number because you're not going to be able to get a job. Okay, you got to have knowledge. That's I mean I'm gonna stand by that. You got to have some knowledge about IT. You come in with knowledge, no experience. Let's say no certifications, no degree, you have a GED. Can you get a job? Yes, it's going to be like we're making $22 an hour, $19 an hour. It's probably going to be shift work. It's not going to be work from home. They're going to teach you. It's going to be repetitious. But yes, the answer is yes. You can find these jobs. They're going to be very competitive to get in there, but you can get them. You're going to be working with some high school kids or something, but you can't. Yes, and that's a way to get your foot in the door if you got no diploma, no experience at all. Yes, you can. If you have, let's say you've got the knowledge, of course, you've got a certification, and you've got let's say an associate's degree or something. Now you have more doors open to you. Now there's the more experience, certifications, degrees that you have, the more of these things you have, the more doors open up and the more opportunities, the more money opportunities have that are offered to you. The less you have, the less work you've put in, the less skin you have in the game of your time, money, or energy, the less opportunities that you're going to have in IT and cybersecurity. So, how do we get the book? The book, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile. It's in ConvoCourses.net. The first button that you see, that's the button takes you directly there. Free Kindle book right now for the next 5 days. I'm looking for reviews. Your reviews are as good as money. So I'm looking for a positive review. So I appreciate it. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, link is in description, and that will take you directly to the book. It's free for the next 5 days. It's what it is breaking down how I've been able to do cybersecurity for all these years, how to do a resume. My resume is already free. You can just get my resume for free to get an idea of what kinds of things you need to put on there and what the format is and all that kind of stuff. But this book walks you through how to do your own resume and how to expand on the resume you already have, and then how to market it. That means like put it everywhere and put yourself out there in front of these employers. But it's a 3-book bundle, so it also has how to work from home, and then what this whole spectrum of the cybersecurity workforce is what we're breaking down in that set of books. Okay, let me see. Somebody said, Vaughn said, a position I applied for paid between $77,000 and $115,000. I put down I wanted $100,000. I felt I had the experience and the knowledge. And Vaughn, would you consider this an entry level position, or you don't seem like an entry level person? I applied for, okay, this is a different topic. Must be a different topic. Okay, this is a different topic. Let me address it as such. Okay, a position that you applied for was $77,000 to $115,000. I put down that I wanted $100,000. I felt that I had experience. He says it's not entry level position. Okay, got you. And he says, I replied, I received your salary is a bit too high for this opportunity and for an external candidate. Typically, someone would come in mid-range, just the ballpark figure. And it was at Northrop Grumman. So Vaughn, listen, man, like another tactic. Here's a tactic that I use to kind of have a little bit more control over how much money that I'm offered. What I do is this. This book right now is free, by the way. I'm about to put you on some. Listen, people. Oh, man, I don't know why people don't listen to me about this. It blows my mind. I've been doing this for years, guys. This is the last time I'm going to sell this book. This is it. I'm done. I'm not going to push this book. After this, 5 days is up. That's it. I'm going to move on to other topics, okay? Because nobody is interested in this book. And there's no problem. It's cool. Like you win some, you lose some. You know what I mean? But let me just tell you what I do, because this works, man. This works. Anybody who's listened to me and followed through what I tell them, they're making more money than me. Okay, so listen. Here's how I do it. The more it's a numbers game, bro. My man, it's a numbers game. So what you do is you gotta have a good resume, okay? You gotta get the resume good, and the way you do that is to put on there what the technical recruiters, and the HR departments are looking for. I'm not telling you to lie in your resume. I'm telling you to take the experience that you already have, you got to put experience on there, okay? Skills, experience, stuff like that. You got to light it up with all the stuff they're looking for in whatever genre of cybersecurity or IT you're doing, all right? So it might be totally different than what I'm doing. You might be doing forensics. You might be doing cybersecurity analyst work, whatever. You got to find the keywords that are the sweet spot of what they're looking for, because they're looking for it right now. After you do that, you make your resume an ATS style resume, by the way. That's important, because whenever you start uploading your resume onto these job sites, which is the next step, ATS style is being read by machines. All of these major organizations, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, Ernst & Young, hospitals, all of these big players, they have a system that pulls in your resume and reads it. If it's an ATS style resume, it automatically will pick it up. If it's not an ATS style resume, it drops it. So what I'm showing you how to do with my free resume, that's, if you go on my link in the description, my resume is free. Okay. You can download my resume. It has the format that you need. ATS style resume, right? If the closer you get it to an ATS style resume, the better. But you got to put all the keywords in there. It's like the special sauce. And that's what this book is telling you how to do. So once you have the resume suite, you're not going to go out from job. Listen, you're not going to job conferences and say, hey, here's my resume. Here you go. It doesn't have to look pretty. What you're going to do is upload it to monster.com, dice.com, careerbuilder.com, careerjet.com, simplyhired.com, if they still allow you to do it, indeed.com, linkedin.com. You're going to upload your ATS style resume on all these platforms. It's not enough to just upload it, by the way. The next step you got to do is going on every single one of those. I would recommend you do the top 20 in whatever country you're going to. Then what you do is you fill out the entire profile on each one. You can go to my profile LinkedIn right now. You'll see it's completely filled out. And it is jam-packed with goodness. And that's why I get so many people offering me jobs. You want to do this on LinkedIn, on Monster, on all the platforms, as many as possible. If you don't have a job, that should be your job. Your job should be to put this damn thing everywhere, right? Even if you have limited experience, I think this would still work in your favor, even if you have limited experience. That's how well this works. You got to put it everywhere, though. After that, you got to have some kind of keywords, okay? Don't get twisted. So once you put all these things out there, 60% of the work is done, because people are going to contact you. Contracts are going to contact you. They're looking for you right now. The problem is you're trying to match your skill set and your experience and your certifications with their requirements. And that's why the keywords are important. You're matching yourself with the appropriate players. This whole thing is about algorithms. The algorithm is looking for certain keys. And I'm telling you how to find those keys. And then once you do this, I promise you, you will get many offers, many opportunities, I should say. Not all opportunities are good opportunities, is what I've been learning. Not all of them are good matches. I would say 90% that you're going to get contacted on are not. One of the things I tell you about in this series of books that I have that are currently free for the next 5 days is that I have to protect myself, because I get so many offers that it's. Have you ever had that call about your car warranty? How many times a month do you guys get that? I get it quite a bit. Have you ever have you ever gotten those calls? You know, all those spam calls and stuff. It starts to feel like that. If you do what I'm telling you to do in this series of books, it'll feel like that. And that's why one of the things I tell you to do is don't use your main phone number, because you will get a lot of calls. It's that ridiculous. You're going to have to you can use your email. I mean, I suppose if you have what I do is I have a filter where it takes the email and sends it to one folder, because I get so many offers coming in, it just clogs up my email. So that's one thing you can do, or you can use a separate email account, whichever, but don't use your real phone number, man. Don't do it. I'm so paranoid, I don't even use my real name on there. And then when they ask me, hey, I'm confused, like, is your name this or that? And I'm like, oh, my name is, I tell them it's part of my real name. But I'm very paranoid. Don't put your real address. Don't put your full address on your resume. Don't do that. Just remember, not everybody has your best interest when they're contacting you. The stuff I'm doing is it works so well. Many hundreds of people are going to see your resume. So you got to be very careful about your personally identifiable information. It really works. When I'm telling you works so effectively, I'm afraid for you if you're putting your real information out there. All right. Anyway, thank you, Vaughn, for that $25, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Much appreciation for your sharing knowledge with us. Not a problem at all. That's what I'm here to do. I hope it helps somebody. Okay, TikTok, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to let you guys know what's going on. There are tons of scams out there during my job research. Yeah, there's a lot of, and unfortunately, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be careful because you're going to get hit with all kinds of opportunities, but also not opportunities, like scams, straight up scams. If anybody's asking you for money, don't do it. Like, if it sounds too good to be true, you need to research the F out of them. Don't. If it sounds too good to be true, assume it's fake, and then use all your skills at your disposal to figure out. Call them. If they have a number on there, call it. Find out their company. If you go to their website and it really sucks, or there's no website, don't do it. Don't do it. If they're a professional organization, they're about to pay you a whole bunch of money. They better have their stuff together. So now, that being said, let me just blow your mind real quick. So a few incredible opportunities I've gotten have been directly from the owners of companies. It's because I put my stuff out there. You might think it's hard to believe, but listen, these small business owners, they need somebody like yourself they can't do it. They're getting to a point. There's been a couple small business owners, small and medium, who were desperate. And so they would contact me directly, haven't seen either one of my videos or usually saw me on either Monster. My biggest ones is Monster and Dice. They'll usually see me on one of those. And then they'll get my resume and they'll call me directly. And it's the guy who created the company. And he's like, listen, I really need help. And I'm like, hey, man, could you send me like a job description or something? And they'll send me a job description and I'll read through it and they'll say, can you help with this? And I'll start breaking down risk management framework, and then they'll be like, yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need. I research them. What's your company name? If it sounds too good to be true, it might be. I'm researching them just as much as they're going to, do their own background check on me. But when you start putting your stuff out there, you just got to be careful. I would say the main thing is be very careful with your personally identifiable information. I would not recommend you use your real phone number. If there's an alternative that you can use it. If you have a business number that you can use, or if you can use like Google, it's called Google Voice or some other number, it's worth your time. Do not put your real address on there. You can put your state, or the city even, but don't put your real address on there. I'd be careful even about your real first and last name. I'd be very careful about that. If it sounds too good to be true, research it. Assume it's not true. Trust but verify. Trust but verify. That means like, okay, this sounds good, but let me verify. Let me go back. Let me do a Google search on who these people are, and see if it's legit. See if there's anybody talking about them, that kind of thing. Be careful because this stuff I'm telling you guys really works. This works. This is a lifetime. What's in these short pages here, and actually you're getting 3 books, is what I've been doing for years, and it's really worked. And that's why I'm telling people about it, because I know people are hurting. I haven't been hurting for a long time, not financially. I mean, I have an occasional existential crisis. I mean, I'm on my 2nd divorce. You know what I mean? I got other problems, but a job is not one of them. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Let me see. Let me see. Bruce, how difficult was the CGRC, also formerly known as CAP, the ISC2 CAP? I'm getting my company to pay for it as well as ISC2 official training. Will that be enough? So, Axiom, it wasn't difficult. The wording on ISC2 test is was difficult for me. The way they word it, but the answers. I mean, the test was not difficult. Um, Let me show you some of the resources that you can use. Will it be enough? No. So what you're gonna have to do is read the following documentation. These are worth your time if you're trying to take the certification for the ISC2 CGRC. One of them is known as the NIST 837. I would read this entire document because a lot of what you're going to learn is this document right here. Risk Management Framework for Information Systems and Organizations, a system life cycle approach to security and privacy. That's the whole name of the document. But this is right here will help you out quite a bit. The next document you need to do is, let me see, NIST 830. NIST 830. You want to read this one right here? Guide for conducting risk assessments. It doesn't go deeply into the assessments. You just basically need to know like what a very broad understanding, I would say, of that one. You don't have to memorize anything in that one. Just you need to know the premise behind it. Another one would be NIST 839. And this one is managing information system security risk. That's another one you want to do. Another one you want to do is FIPS 200. FIPS 200. Minimum security requirements for federal information systems. This is like an 8-page document. This will be all over that test. Another one you want to do is the FIPS 199. Read this entire document. This one's like 4 pages long, man. This is not a long document. 8 pages. Let me see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I was wrong. It's 13 pages. 13-page document. This one you want to read. You want to this one's all over that test. Trying to think of any other. Some of the terminology that they're going to refer to is going to be on the NIST 800-100. This is like an overview of some of NIST's cybersecurity, information security terminology. You don't have to memorize this, but sometimes they'll have certain terminology that's unique to the NIST. This certification is all about NIST 800. It's 100. I was very surprised how it's 100% NIST 800 stuff. It doesn't go into security controls. It's not technical at all. It's all about the NIST process. Now, the one thing I don't know, because I took this so long ago, I have a pretty low number on this test, is how they're dealing with Rev 1 to Rev 2, because there is a difference. So NIST 837 Rev 1 had 6 steps, and NIST 837 Revision 2 has 7 steps. So I don't know how they're dealing with that. I'd read both just to make sure you know the 6 steps and the 7 steps. All it is they added an additional steps called prepare, which is kind of like a step 0 or the step 1 or whatever. But yeah, that's what you need to know. Anything that a boot camp or whatever they're going to send you to, that's good, that's great, but you really need to actually read the documents. Read the documents. You'll thank me. You'll be in the test and be like, Bruce told me to read the documents. And I didn't read the documents. All right, so let me see. What's your opinion on an AWS certification rather than a cybersecurity certification? AWS is super hot. I would say consider doing other ones such as AZ 900 Azure. That's another good one. That's kind of probably the second one. It goes like this: the top of the tier, top of the food chain for cloud certification would be AWS for sure. The next one in cloud, as far as cloud is concerned, would be probably the Google cert for cloud, and then after that will be Azure. Not it will probably okay. I take that back. Probably Microsoft. Microsoft be next. I'm sorry, Azure, and then Microsoft cloud certification in that order. So I would say it would be really great for you to take the AWS certifications in cloud because right now, excuse me, right now it's very hot. Like it's super super hot. Yeah, I would totally do cloud, and that's a great way great direction to go in. And you can always do specialize in security if you wanted to, because once you do, let me show you what I mean here. So cloud AWS has a pyramid structure. It's a pyramid scheme. No, that's kidding. Okay, cloud certifications. Show what I'm talking about here. There's like specializations that you can do in cloud. Let me show my screen here for you guys. I wish oh shit, that's dope. I know you could do that. I did that by accident. I like that. Okay, anyway. Okay, let me see if I can switch my screen on TikTok. See this right here? So this one right here at the top is the first one, cloud practitioner, right? And then once you get this one, you can go to this next tier, which is an associate, and you can specialize in architect, developer, or sysops. And then the next tier down, a professional level cert. This is where you get paid. This is big money right here. Solution architect, DevOps. Normally, professional level certs are not easy. They're more difficult because they're way more specialized, way more advanced. And then you can specialize once you get one of these in security, data analytics, machine learning, and database. And I think they have another one for networking. Yep, there it is right there. Networking. There it is right there. Networking and SAP on AWS. And I suspect, check this out. I suspect one day on this chart right here, there'll be one for AI, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Amazon's already working on an AI bundle, just like an AI solution for large organizations, which will be very handy because organizations can't use with sensitive information, banks, hospitals, and major technical leaders, captains of industry cannot use ChatGPT on sensitive information, including the government. They cannot use that yet, but it's such an effective tool. So Amazon is doing something called Bedrock. And there's a couple of other organizations that are doing something like this, where they have an AI service that's specific to your organization. I'm looking for it right now. AWS announces Bedrock and multiple generative AI services capabilities. And then also, yeah, Google, somebody said Microsoft has a beta AI too. Yeah. You got it. So you better believe Google's going to do the same thing. So Amazon's already doing this. What they're making services that are kind of like a silo. There's so many questions about this, so many philosophical things that can go horribly wrong with this if you think about it. Anyway, so aside from humanity possibly being destroyed, let's stay positive, shall we? So Google is coming up with their own AI service where you can, they'll have a silo so that your financial organization can use, it's not exposed to the internet. Because right now, if you chat, the emoji is killing me. So right now, Samsung had an issue where they had banned ChatGPT, but as soon as they opened it up, some of their top tier employees started using ChatGPT to put in sensitive information. If you go to ChatGPT, they flat out tell you in the FAQ, do not use this for sensitive information, because it's going to be publicly available. It's going to be, it doesn't get erased from your chat history, if that makes any sense, which is not good if you have sensitive information, because, well, you got to think to yourself, who on the other side of this system can see what I just typed in? And if you have sensitive information like the schematics of Samsung's latest, I don't know, there's latest phone technology and the vulnerabilities there, that's sensitive information, right? So soon as Samsung put it out there, some of their employees put it on there, and it's clearly states on ChatGPT, do not use this for sensitive information, because we're not going to delete your publicly available info. We're not going to delete that sensitive information from your chat results. So if you are in a, this is very important, like for all you IT guys, cybersecurity guys, people always ask me, is AI going to take my job? Like AI is going to eliminate all jobs and stuff. Maybe one day that, yeah, it might be true. I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, perhaps. But right now, if you are in the Department of Defense and you're using ChatGPT and you're putting some classified information in there to see, those chat results are not going to be erased from the history. That means they're on a server somewhere, and ChatGPT has already said, look, don't put your sensitive information here, because we don't delete that information. Let me see if I can find the exact wording that they used on here. They said, let me see if I can find it. I'm looking on and this, I'm sure this is the same thing with any Bard and all the other ones, any more than you wouldn't want to put up, for example, sensitive information on Google, right? Why not? Because Google's searches are publicly, it's, as soon as you put a keyword in there, it saves it on their servers for one thing. And it becomes, they save that as a trend. Like if millions of people type in Taylor Swift's next album, the way that they know that that's a top search is because they save it. So if you went ahead and put some stuff in, just like Google searches, if you put some classified or sensitive information and searching it on Google, they're keeping some of that information. It's on their servers, and ChatGPT uses some of our searches to get smarter. So they retain some of your information to make the tool smarter. So sensitive, I'm trying to look for the exact wording. Yeah, here's some of it right here. Let me see. Please don't share sensitive or personal information. If the question relates to API account billing issues, please contact us. So they have they're dealing with billing and stuff like that, PII on a separate deal. But if you're on just regular ChatGPT, you don't want to put sensitive information in there, because somebody's going to see it that you don't want to see it. So you got to be careful about that. That goes for your personal information too. Like, I would be careful about what you're typing in there, because they have it. They have your information. Just don't, be careful. Be careful is all I'm saying. Let me see. They had something about, I'm looking for the exact sensitive information, the exact wording that they use. Yeah, they said, please don't share any sensitive information in your conversations. And it follows up, it says, let me show you guys what I'm seeing here. Show my screen. Here it is right here. This is on Chat OpenAI's site. So security is not there yet because everybody can see the searches in theory. And actually a couple weeks ago, I think it was last month on Reddit, somebody was like, "Hey, is it normal that why am I seeing Chinese?" Somebody was seeing Chinese pictograms on their chat, and they're like, "I don't know Mandarin." You know what I mean? Like, why am I seeing Chinese? It turns out there was a security issue with ChatGPT where you could see other people's chat. You could see the title of their, if you use ChatGPT, the title pops up. You could kind of see part of the conversation. Other people were seeing other people's conversations. So, yeah, that's confidentiality right there. God forbid you were typing in something sensitive, right? That's not good. We're not there yet. It's a very useful tool if you're writing a novel or something. If you're writing fiction or something like that, it's very useful. It's very useful for getting feedback on your writing. It's really good at editing. It's good at rewording, you making it better. But if you've got some sensitive information, an example might be vulnerabilities. Like if you said, ChatGPT, how can I got this vulnerability on my server and I work at, I don't want to say any names. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to say, I don't know how many people are going to watch this. So I'm not saying no fake bank dot five, whatever, something completely innocuous and not real at all. And you are looking for vulnerabilities on their server. Yeah, they're saying, look, can we delete specific prompts? Let me show you what I mean here. This is coming from OpenAI's actual page. Can we delete specific prompts? No, we are unable to delete specific prompts from your history. Please do not share any sensitive information in your conversations. So yeah, you've got to be. It's not ready for prime time. Like this is not the system that you want to use sensitive information on. If you're playing games, that's great. If you're doing, you know, stuff like that, if you're writing books or something, that's okay. But don't put sensitive information in ChatGPT. Of course, you already know. Don't put it in Bard. Don't put it in Bing Chat. Don't put it in anything. You do have. There is a solution for this that you can use it. There's a couple out there that you can download to your local system if you want to do sensitive information. There's one called GPT for All that you can download. There's a one called Alpaca. There's one called Llama, and there's like several others. There's actually quite a few that you can download to your personal system or a server or whatever, and then you could train it, and then it's as good, not quite as good as ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very good. It's very, very good. I mean, they're kind of like they're probably a couple years ahead of the game, but you can train it to where it's very useful. It's at least 90% as good as ChatGPT. It's not the exact deal, but do you offer mentoring? I don't offer mentoring at this time. I just don't have the time to do it. It's more right now, I have a full-time job, and that job is not easy. And I'm writing. When I'm not doing videos and stuff, I'm writing. I'm doing some sort of writing. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because I'm trying to sell my book. If you didn't know, right now, for free 99, and for the cost of a positive review on Amazon, you can get this book right now. It's actually a 3-book bundle that you guys can get for free. I do this every now and then for my followers, for the people who are on my newsletter. I've got 3 or 4 other free books. Let me be specific. I got about 2 books right now that I'm going to release real soon, just like I'm doing here. But for for the people who've been following me on a regular basis, I give them stuff directly. Like I'll be like, "Hey, does anybody want to review this book?" I'm like, "Yeah, me. I'll review the book," and then I'll send them a PDF of the book. This book right here, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile, go to ConvoCourses.net, link in description, link in bio. If you're in YouTube or Facebook, link is in description. And the link is there. It takes you straight to the book. The Kindle version's free. The hardcover is not free. It's a 3-book bundle. It has everything I've been talking about on this thing, but it breaks it down step by step. When I'm doing this for, you might be, why is it free? Like, what's the value of it? Listen, this is many years of my life, of the success that I've had in this industry because I've done this stuff in this book. Marketing my resume. And it's free because I'm trying to get reviews. That's why it's free. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate the hearts. Let me see. That's basic CIA OPSEC and ethics. I used to ask for VBA scripting. I used it to ask for VBA scripting. I don't use it for Grammarly when writing my documents. Yeah, so right now I use ChatGPT to help me with writing. It's a really great tool for writers. It's not good in my opinion, it's decent at writing, okay? It's good. But the special sauce is when you write something good yourself and then say, "Hey, ChatGPT, can you fix this?" And it'll fix it, man. It'll find all the flaws and then it'll fix it. And you reread it and you're like, "Damn, that's pretty good." That's the special sauce. I don't put any sensitive information in that thing, just like you wouldn't put that in a Google, right? You wouldn't put specific vulnerabilities that your system's name and IP are having. You might look for a plugin for Tenable or something like that to get more information on how to fix something. Of course, you would go to the vendor site or whatever. That's fine, but you don't want to put sensitive information that's proprietary, secret sauce, classified information from your organization in ChatGPT. Don't do it. I've been using it for Splunk. Like if I want to do like a Splunk, I don't know what to type in, what regex code to type into Splunk or whatever tool, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not putting in any sensitive information, but I want to know what to type in. So I'll just say, okay, how do I find this or that parameter using Splunk? And it'll know it. I'm like, damn, this thing is good, man. It's good. Got the book. I'll leave a review after reading it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate a positive review, by the way. But just you downloading actually helps me out a lot. What role pays more, a consultant or an architect? It really depends on the organization. There's a few factors when you're looking at this. When looking at salary, I wouldn't put an architect against a consultant because it kind of depends on the organization. Typically, architect jobs, I would say, are usually higher paying jobs because an architect is expected to come in and know a lot about a lot, whereas a consultant is usually like one thing. That said, it depends on a few factors. One is the organization. Sometimes organizations such as FANG pay more. They pay more with stock options. FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and those kind of companies. They pay really high. and an architect and a consultant, it depends on what you're doing. And then another factor is location, is a huge factor in pay. So pay, like to give you an example, Omaha, Nebraska is going to pay probably less than a lot of jobs in New York, for example, or LA or DMV area. So another one would be probably the actual position. It's because I would wager that some consultant job, because I'm leaning towards architect, but I would say it depends, because some consultant jobs are going to pay more than architect jobs, and it depends on the position and what they're doing. So those are the main factors: location, the actual organization, and then the actual job description itself would be the bigger factors. Let me see. Somebody said, it's so hard to get in the industry. I get rejected all the time. I'm getting my master's in WGU in cybersecurity. Are remote jobs? So I would say if you find yourself getting rejected in jobs, like you've done a whole bunch of interviews and stuff, the tactic that I use is to use it like a numbers game. It's a numbers game. So the more you put out there, the more, I'll put it to you like this: success favors the prepared. When you develop your resume, you're getting prepared. So the way you prepare your resume is to put the keywords that organizations are looking for. It's supply and demand. You got to find what they're looking for, and then you supply it. Does that make sense? And that's why I call it resume marketing, because what you're doing is you're finding out what they need, and then you're supplying it. I'm not telling you to lie on your resume. What I'm telling you is to find whatever industry you're in. If I wanted to do forensics, I'm not a forensics guy. I don't have very much experience with it. But I do have things I've done that would align with forensics. So what I would do if I was looking for a forensics job in cybersecurity is I would look at everybody's resume on LinkedIn who has forensics experience, and I would look at their wording. And then I would find where I line up with these people, and then I would use the wording that they used because it's working for them, especially the people on the top of that search. Another thing that people get wrong, especially in cybersecurity, is that cybersecurity is a very broad field. So what you want to do with your resume is narrow it down into like one thing that you want to do. Figure out what that is, and then focus on that one thing, because that one thing is going to have specific keywords in that field. Specific example for you: an information system security officer, which is what I do in cybersecurity, is not going to have the same keywords as a forensics guy, as a digital forensics person. We have completely worlds apart. We're under the cybersecurity umbrella, but that dude's got to know probably in case FTC. They probably want to know if you've ever worked with chain of custody. They're probably going to want to know if you've worked with the Justice Department or something like that. That would be a great for your background. If you have any criminal investigation background, they're going to look for things like that, and certain tools like Snort or some other tools like that, where you're going onto a hard drive and figuring out and looking at the ones and zeros across the hard drive or whatever, right? Whereas for me, my specializations are going to be in NIST 800, NIST 853, NIST 837, risk management framework, maybe cybersecurity framework, a little bit of FISMA. I need to know what FISMA is. That's an important one. So my skill set and keywords are going to be very different from somebody else's. So if you are having problems even getting people to entertain you, more than likely your resume is not focused on one thing and it's too broad. So that's one thing I would say. Let me see. Your question is, you said, I I don't get that far with my resume and I want to get into governance. Okay, so it's your lucky day right now, because if you go to you're on TikTok, right? Right now, if you go right now, you go to my profile, there's a link called ConvoCourses.net. On there, there's a bunch of free stuff, downloadables, discount, 60% off, 50, but whatever. There's a button on the top that'll lead you to this book, a series of books that are about how I did this, how I'm able to get all these opportunities for cybersecurity jobs in particular. And the second book in the series, because it's a 3-book series, is going to break down governance. It's going to break down what you need if you're trying to get into investigations. It goes into if you're trying to do red teaming, what kinds of certifications that are good for that, what kinds of stuff they're looking for. If you're in Intel, like what kinds of things that they're looking for. That right there is where you want to go. Right now, it's free for the next 5 days. I'm looking for reviews, and actually downloads work too. Like if you click the link and go and get the book, here it is right here. This is the author's copy. That's why it has this not for sale thing right here. This is book 1 of the series. It's a 3-book series, free right now on Amazon for the next 5 days. And then after that, all bets are off. I'll be off to the next one. This is probably the last time I'm going to push this book this hard, because nobody wants to buy it. And that's cool. I'm buying now, and just because your channel helped me so much in studying. Oh man, thanks, Sean. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That PDF has all the knowledge, points, key skills, core knowledge. I put it into a generic resume to grab attention. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Sean, for that plug. Thanks for the endorsement. Do we click the link? I'm downloading now. Yes. Yep. Just go to Amazon, click the link, and I would greatly appreciate your reviews. The reviews are as good as money for me. I had no idea reviews were that important, but apparently they're pretty important on Amazon. So I appreciate everybody who's watching. All you guys are really. It's been very rewarding for me to have these conversations. ConvoCourses, and to talk to you guys. I really appreciate all the questions. Thanks so much. And I'll answer one last question before I go. My lips are getting chapped because Colorado has no moisture in the air. So your hands crack, your freaking lips, elbows are ashy. Okay. Anyway, will cybersecurity be taken over by AI? Eventually, it's going to be a huge help to all cybersecurity professionals. I've been using it for a while, and holy crap, I would be more afraid about humanity as a whole. It's terrifying. It's terrifyingly good, and it's just the beginning. Will it replace us? Right now, to be honest, I'll give you an example. I was just talking about this earlier. Samsung banned Chat GPT, and the reason why is because they were afraid that their sensitive information would be leaked. So 22 days after they banned it, they opened it up. They said, you know what? We're going to allow our engineers to use it. So they start having the engineers use it. And what happened was the engineers started using it to figure out, okay, well, we have this vulnerability in our critical infrastructure, in one of our critical systems. I'm going to see if ChatGPT knows the answer how to fix this. And they typed it into ChatGPT. So ChatGPT specifically tells you, do not use this. Do not put sensitive information into ChatGPT, because they're not deleting your history. So look, check this out. Look, here's what I'm talking about. Can you this is ChatGPT's frequently asked questions. Can you delete specific prompts? No, we are not able to delete specific prompts from your history. Please do not share any sensitive information in your conversations. So at present moment, AI will not be replacing cybersecurity people, because if you put sensitive information in there, it doesn't get deleted. It's on there. It's on a server. And actually, last month there was an issue where you could see other people's you could see other people's chat. Now, imagine if you're a company X and you put your vulnerabilities in there for a specific system. You put the system name and IP and said, we have this vulnerability on this critical system. ChatGPT, can you help me fix this? Well, you just put sensitive information that could be possibly shared. It's not ChatGPT's responsibility to protect your information. So, no, not currently. So, there is a solution for this, though. So, the way that they can fix this, and this is what I think is coming. And actually, they're already doing this. So, Amazon, Facebook, and Google are already doing what I'm about to tell you. Oh, shit. Google's about to talk. So, they're already doing what I'm about to tell you. They're setting up silos so that big business, people with sensitive information can have exclusive an exclusivity to the access of the data that's shared in that system, in that server. So they're going to air gap it. It's not going to be tied to a publicly available system. So that gives you a couple things. It's more security, so confidentiality, possibly integrity, because now you can train that system on just your data. So now the data that's coming from ChatGPT is not going to hallucinate as much. Because one thing that happens with ChatGPT is it makes stuff up. It'll just make stuff up. Like I use it a little. I've been messing around with it to do a NIST 800 training, and it gets it wrong a lot. I'm a subject matter expert on NIST 800, and I'm reading through it, and you got to validate everything it says, because it's as cool as it is and as articulate as it is, it has a lot of wrong information, and you've got to read through it to catch it. So it's not perfect. That being said, I still think it's revolutionary and going to change the way humanity behaves. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's what's coming. It's very, very powerful. It's terrifyingly good. I wouldn't worry more. I would worry more about the state of humanity after about 5 to 10 years of using this than your job. Our jobs. It's funny, like everybody's talking about, oh, well, it's gonna replace my job. What about existence? It might replace our existence. Humanity might not be. We might not be ever be the same again. It could replace us as a species. Think about it. If we merge with this thing, if we start using it to think, we have direct integration with it. And there's things you can do to directly integrate it that's not intrusive. Like you don't have to drill a hole in your head. There might be at some point there might be a device that hooks to you, like here, and then it augments reality so you can see what's going on, and then it's interfacing. You're acting with it, and it's giving you answers to the world around you. It's going to change us. We're about to change as a species. Like, never mind your job. Like, we're going to have to rethink what it means to be human very soon, I think. And then on top of that, there's one, at some point, it'll get so smart that it'll be smarter than every human that's ever existed at once. And then I don't even know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. Me and a friend were just talking about this. Somebody said it's going to make us lazy. Yeah. It's probably going to change us entirely. Sean said Elon's neural chip, Neuralink is what it's called. That's one option, but there's going to be many different options. Apple's Glass, Google Glass. This is revolutionary. If this is a second brain for us, Imagine what AI will do. Eventually, everyone will have direct access to AI at their fingertips. Everybody will have it. It'll be integrated with, consider this. Your operating system is going to have an integration with AI. Every operating system, it won't even make sense to not have it in AI in your operating system. And every tool that I use scanning tools. I use vulnerability management tools at my job. I use SIEM tools. I use all kinds of tools to do my work. At some point, AI will be integrated with all those tools, and it won't even make sense to not have it integrated. And if you are a tool like Splunk, just to remain competitive with QDAR or whatever other SIEM systems that are out there, you have to put AI in your tools. You have to, in your services. It has to be integrated. So there's right now is an arms race to get AI in there as fast as possible. We're about to experience a level of change that is unprecedented in human history. This is going to change us forever. Like there's no going back from this. I don't know if AI is going to come back and try to kill Sarah Connor, John Connor, or nuke humanity or whatever, right? Like science fiction says. I don't know about that, but I know for sure it's going to change what humanity is. That is for sure. Because this already has. Think about how much the internet and phones have already changed us. We're already different. We're not the same species as we were before. This artificial intelligence is going to completely change us. And I don't think it's all bad. I think just like the internet, there's some good things and there's some very bad things and there's some great things. I think AI will be just like that times a million. Times a million, baby. Sean said, the good news is for me, though DOD is on the train, they will be one of the last integrated. Yeah, they take a while integrate. But Sean, consider this. What tools, Sean, think about this, Sean. Think about this. What tools did the DOD use? I bet you that the tools that they use will have AI. I bet you those tools, that whatever tools that they use will have AI features, and they will start adopting them that way. I'm pretty sure. It might take a couple years, but I'm thinking, because if I consider this, like there was a time, I've been in this field long enough before they really start integrating some of the higher level algorithm tools that are now in everything. Like algorithm tools are in every tool we use now. It's not AI, but it's very smart. They'll make an algorithm that will kind of figure out, like SIEM technology is very, very good with it. It's not AI, but it feels like AI because sometimes it can make a decision, not decisions. That's not the right. It can pick up patterns faster than a human being can. So the algorithms that are in a tool like Splunk are pretty advanced already, to where it's pre-programmed to pick up certain patterns, and it'll alert us when there's a security incident. Now imagine them integrating AI. It just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? Do you know how badass Splunk would be with AI? Man, it could look at all your data and it could figure out for you what the incidents are better than any human already. And it's a baby right now. Oh, I know. But being being in it this long, they're always hesitant on stuff like this. Eventually it will come. You're absolutely right. They'll take a little longer. The federal government will take longer, that's for sure. And that's a good thing. I mean, they shouldn't rush into anything because they have a lot more to lose. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Great talk. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, all you IT guys. Thanks for the $25, Vaughn. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Remember, if you guys want a free book right now on Amazon, link in description, link in bio. Go to ConvoCourses.net. The button will take you to a 3-book bundle. I'm looking for reviews. Yes, I want money. The book is free. I need reviews are better than money. So give me a review. Give me 5 stars. I appreciate it. I will talk to you guys later. There's another couple books coming out, so keep watching. I'll talk to you guys. Tomorrow I've got another live, but it's talking about something totally different.